In this video, we'll look at Mars Bellicose and the progress he's making toward his first race. He's had a setback, and I'll show you the details of what's going on, how we diagnose the problem, and what we're going to do about it. But first, we'll look at some routine health maintenance that both Mars and Big Hoof Dynamite received just a few days ago. Horses' teeth grow continually throughout their lives, but that growth is kept in check by the teeth grinding against each other during the chewing process. Sometimes the teeth don't line up quite right, and so they get uneven wear, which causes sharp edges. Those have to be ground down or filed down by a horse dentist. This is called floating the teeth. And our tooth floater is Tim Craigmile, and here he is working on Big Hoof Dynamite. Now, he uses a device to hold the horse's mouth open so he doesn't get his fingers bit, and it gives him room to work in there. Tim has already floated the upper teeth here, but the lower teeth have a sharp edge on the inside, and he'll use his files to level that sharp edge and make the surface of the tooth flat so it matches up nicely with the upper teeth. Mars was progressing nicely with his training, but a few days ago his exercise rider noticed a little hitch in his gait, and our veterinarian, Dr. Birch, checked him over and wanted to take an x-ray to see if there was anything going on with the bone in the hind leg. Since Dr. Birch is always spot on with her diagnoses, we went ahead and had the x-ray done, and I will show you the results of that. This is the area we x-rayed. This corresponds to your shin bone. The horse's stifle joint corresponds to your knee joint, and there's actually a patella or a kneecap in there. Now, this point of the hock corresponds to the heel of your foot and the ankle joint. Horses like Mars, who have had time off for some other injury, can lose bone density during that time off, and when they go back into training, they have to rebuild that bone. If the bone rebuilding doesn't keep pace with the increase in stress from training, then you can start to get stress fractures, and if you don't catch that soon enough, they can develop into real fractures and cause serious injury. This bone, the tibia, is a common place for stress fractures to occur, and if our rider was not paying attention and didn't have good communication with me, this could have easily been missed until it was much more serious. Even though Mars was tranquilized for this x-ray procedure, I think Cincy was quite brave to stand where she is holding that x-ray plate. 7 different views were done around the bone so we could see all the different angles. And here's the radiograph. We can't actually see the microfractures, but we can see where the bone has tried to repair them, and that shows in these rough areas, these kind of bumps along the edge of the bone. This should be a nice sharp line. So Mars will get walked every day for a couple of weeks, and then we'll put a rider up and walk with the rider, then trot for a while, and then we'll get back to galloping, and then back to some speed work. So it's going to be, a month or so before we get back to where we were in our training program. So our horse, Mars Bellicose, was showing some signs of stress from training. Those signs could have turned into a serious injury, but we got good diagnosis, good treatment plan, and a good prognosis. We stopped stressing the horse, let him recover, didn't have to use medication. We did not try to go on with the horse by masking the pain with medication. And this is the normal procedure in the horse racing industry. 0.2%. That is the percentage of horses that race that have a breakdown. That tiny number shows that the vast majority of horsemen treat their horses right. But it also shows that not all horsemen heed the warning. The management at Santa Anita and the California Horse Racing Board and the California Thoroughbred trainers are taking steps to ensure that there's greater scrutiny. and no warning sign is missed. We now have 2 veterinarians standing on the track during workouts, and they are watching for any horse that shows signs of lameness. Medications that could mask signs of lameness and could inhibit the ability for these vets to see problems before they turn bad have been greatly restricted, and horses are being tested outside of competition without notice so that no one tries to slip something past these veterinarians. I hope this video has made it a little more clear to you what the real situation is out here in California. There are some serious problems. They are being addressed. We are not the villains that we have been portrayed in some of the press. Mars will be back to work soon. He will proceed safely. We're looking forward to a great racing career with him, but he's a difficult horse to train. He's very big, whereas Justify, last year's Triple Crown winner, weighed 1,260 some odd pounds at the time of his wins. Mars weighs over 1,280 pounds. So that's a lot of weight, creates a lot of stress, and I have to adapt the training to his body. So thanks for watching. Good luck at the races. Subscribe if you haven't.